Sorry.
There you go, now they're on.
The light was on.
The light's on, you just gotta plug it into the wall, John.
No, that right there that's hanging.
Not the audio cable
The
that's
thing that's
dangling right in
hanging.
front of you.
That goes in the wall.
In the wall.
Wall. Oh, here? Yeah. That's why when I saw the green light on, I turned on that mic.
We have our amplifiers on?
Yep.
Okay. We'd like to call the meeting to order. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Well, welcome to the summer. And this is what happens, I guess, in the summertime, huh?
Yeah, we're all away on vacation.
Well, that and the fact we have a very light schedule tonight. Most of our work will be done in executive session for many things that are coming up, so. Okay, so before we start anything, I'd first like to make a couple announcements. The mural, for you folks at home that are looking at right now on TV going, oh my God, did I tune into the wrong station? No, you did not. This mural back behind us is going to be there temporarily. And was made by the children at Camp Sunny Days, and they asked if it could be displayed. And we happen to be in the middle of redoing this room. It's going to be painted, so things are becoming off the walls. So we said we can keep this up until that time comes for the painting. So behind us is a beautiful mural by all the kids at Camp Sunny Days, and we'd like to thank them very much for a beautiful backdrop.
Absolutely.
Also, we'd like to also acknowledge our fantastic girls softball team. Oh, Tracy, what great time.
Yes.
Who I believe won, and they are champions, correct? They did. All right, so a big shout out to our champions of Pleasant Valley, our girls softball team. So that's great news.
Congratulations, ladies.
Okay, so I guess we call it to order, which we did. We did the pledge roll call. We have missing with us tonight. We don't have anybody here.
No,
We have nobody from the town clerk's office, so
I'm taking it.
you're going to take the minutes?
Y'all take roll call?
You want to do roll call?
Supervisor Delvecchio.
Here.
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Here.
Councilman Mazzella.
Here.
And Councilman O'Hanlon, I believe, is either on his way or...
We don't know.
You don't know. And then Councilman Reifenberg, I was on the phone with earlier. He is flying today. He will not be joining us because of his work schedule.
So everybody who is here, we're going to adopt the agenda as is.
So I'll
Yes.
make a motion.
Make a motion to adopt? Second? All in favor? Aye. Receipt and acceptance of the minutes of the last meeting. I believe we got that today, or yesterday, I believe, on email. So
Yeah, one of the two.
I move to accept the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All official correspondence are on file in the town clerk's office. There are no oral committee reports today to present. And at this time, we'd like to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only. Anybody?
I'll
Make a motion,
second-
I'm sorry, make a motion.
Yeah, I'll second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Not hearing, I move to close the meeting to the public.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Under new business, this might be the fastest meeting in
I
a
think
long
so.
time. New business discussions, we're going to be having to advertise for a new judge. Judge Sears has not put in his official notification, but he's given us the heads up so that we could take our time and procure leads for that position.
Should we just advertise for like a 3-week period to allow the town clerk to send out? Should we just
I think we
authorize
should.
that now? I mean, I can't imagine we're going to fight over this.
No.
So what I'm getting at is just to get the advertisements out there, whether we have somebody in mind before or after he goes, that's another story, but at least we just get the advertisement out there. So I'll make a motion that we allow the town clerk to advertise for this position for 3 weeks.
I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Not yet.
Not yet.
You also had your chance. We'd like to advertise also for an alternate for court constable.
I'll make the same motion that we allow the town clerk to advertise the position via Indeed or wherever she posts the job.
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
So we have a discussion on protection vests for our constables that we currently have. And Mary, you wanted to give us a little heads up on that, what you'll be looking
Yeah,
at?
they're all measured, all 5 guys. We need a 6th one now, but the company said that it's probably going to be a month out, and they are approximately $800 each. Yeah,
It's a little steep, but
but they're going to protect our guys, so.
Oh, yeah, the cost of a life, I guess.
So hopefully we'll get them ordered like tomorrow. I put a call into the company to get it ordered.
are there any other companies, do we have to do any of those, get quotes from everybody? or
No,
this is pretty
I
much it, right?
already did a lot of that ahead of time, but it doesn't come up to
Right.
the amount.
So we should have a couple of quotes just so we have it for
Yes,
record.
yeah,
right? Okay.
I'll get copies of them.
Anyone else? Anybody down here? No? Okay. Also, an update on our procurement policy. Mary,
Okay, I didn't hear
you've been doing some
back.
work on that as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna send that out to everybody. I sent it to you.
Yep, I got it. I do have
Okay,
it. Yep.
you did?
I did look at it. I don't
Okay,
really have any.
you didn't pay attention?
No, I don't have any issues with how you wrote it.
Oh, okay.
That's
All
why I
right.
didn't give you my comments.
Okay, so then, now that I know that I did all the spelling and all that kind of stuff right, I'll send it out to everybody. You.
Again, I already voiced my concern when I had you in the office the other day. It's
Yes.
just where we are with it. And it could get a little, if you go too high on these things, you're giving a board a little too much leeway, I think,
Right.
sometimes. We've got to watch that. I just want to make sure
Right.
we take those into consideration as well. Also, a supervisor, for that matter, so you don't want to do that
Right,
either.
right, okay.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that there's no conflict with the state law, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Here's something I've been wanting to talk about for a long, long time, and I'm glad it's finally come up. The Mahjong Group, using the community room once again.
Well, they need it for the fall, excuse me. They need it for the fall. They're having a big tournament, and they need a huge room like this. The only thing is that we're gonna have to put a few stipulations on it, because I guess when it's been here before, they moved all of this stuff out of here into the courtroom. So I informed the person that was talking to me about it that cannot be done, but we can move all the stuff up against the wall here as long as we leave it in here.
What time of the day are we going to be doing this?
During the day on a Saturday. It's
Saturdays.
gonna be on a Saturday, yeah. So,
So, so I think currently where we are, I think, as a town, if I'm not mistaken, only town committees can use town hall, correct?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, that was until further notice, right? Like it was a COVID thing, but it was until further notice.
Right.
We didn't know, okay. So what I'm getting at is maybe we should rescind that, or change that to, allow some policy in place, but just stipulate the policy as in maybe have a form.
So one of the problems we had, I don't want to make a big issue about this because I don't think it's a problem. But then again, I wasn't here every day to feel the problem because I could see that it gets a little hectic around here sometimes. And then and when you add something else in, my only concern was some of the arguing about whose room it is and who's not. That's the stuff.
that's why what's nice about this, and I'm not pushing any of you any one way or the other, is that this is a one-time thing. They do it maybe twice a year, and it's only on a Saturday, which I kind of liked. And the reason they can't do it at the library where they're doing their weekly kind of stuff
Right.
is because because of the tournament, they need a much larger area. Their meeting rooms are not as big as this.
I have no problem with it. I don't think anyone else really has a problem. Opening up Town Hall, as far as I'm concerned, is a great thing. It's the people's house. They should be able to use it. Again, it's gonna get painted, yay. So, you know, it should be opened up, and let's see how this goes. Maybe the next group will fit in nice as well, or whatever we have, so. It
Okay,
might be
so-
the
so
opening
you're-
of the door.
3 of us are okay with it then?
I'm okay with it.
Okay,
I'm okay with it.
I will call them.
Okay. Junior CIT program, registration fees.
Yeah, I have a quick, so what we have is the junior CIT. Sandy Coe, the rec director. The junior CIT well, I mean, everybody, there's only a couple of us here.
Listen, I've been a performer for a long time. You put on a show if there's one person or if there's 1,000. So give it your all.
So the CIT program is a free program. Up until last year, we didn't have before and after care available. So I'm only suggesting if they want, any of the junior CITs want to be part of the before and after, they should be charged the same fee as normal campers, because truthfully, they're still considered campers, but, you know, we have to, in our count of the ratio, we have to keep that in mind. So I'm just saying, can we offer it to them, and can we offer it to them at the same price that the normal before and after is?
I don't see why
I
not.
don't see why
I
not.
don't see why not.
Okay. Should I,
Pass something for that? It's a fee.
I assume that there's already a fee in the
Yes.
schedule for.
right, and it's actually, yes, so do you need a resolution?
No, I don't think so, because we're already registering people for before and after care. It's just-
Right.
They're part of the before and after care.
Right, and you know what, the junior leadership program, does pay for the before and after, but that's a normal paying program. Okay, this is perfect.
Okay? So
Thanks.
That's fine. Don't go nowhere. Yours is, and we're going to advertise for a part-time recreation leader position.
Right, and
We
it's in the
discussed that.
budget,
Right,
yes.
It's in our
Is that-
budget.
Oh, I'm sorry, is that the name? Is that the actual name
I
of that
believe-
position?
Recreation leader, I just have to check with
Recreation.
Melanie to make sure it's on the list, but I believe it is.
It's either, if I'm not mistaken, it's either that or rec assistant, it's one of the two.
Yeah, I think it's rec leader, though.
Rec leader is a title.
I mean, we're swamped, John, you
Yeah,
know.
no, I know, I get it. So we can put this in the same time. I make a motion, we put this in the advertising with the same, the other two things we're advertising for as well.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And just for clarification, on our positions listing that was given to us 1/26/2022, we do have a part-time rec leader position on the books.
Okay, that's
That is
what,
vacant.
right, that's what I do it, okay. Oh, so they put me 3 in a row.
Youth basketball, that's how we did it. See, so we have to get up and down.
Okay, so basketball, the last time I spoke to John Wilson, which was only the other day, they are probably gonna charge us.
For the use of the place that we've been, okay.
Yeah, and he's reasoning is that, I don't know if I'm letting the cat out of the bag, he has to get in touch with LaGrange to let them know that there's gonna be some fee changes. Because LaGrange uses LaGrange uses LMS, let's put it that way. So,
Arlington's gonna charge us, is what you're basically saying.
excuse me?
Arlington's gonna charge us?
Yeah, for a school that they're gonna charge us custodial fees, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, he just indicated that we were gonna pay some,
And these are not, these extra fees added are not put into our fees that we're charging for.
right, so I would suggest not, well, maybe I'll know by, the regular monthly meeting, and I can suggest a fee schedule, but definitely we can't go past August, because I start advertising, registration starts August, September for
Which
basketball.
schools is this?
This is, well, I'm assuming it's only Arthur S. May.
Is that all you use?
Oh, no, I use
We use West, we use Traver,
West Traver,
Knoxon,
Knoxon, BOCES,
LMS.
They're gonna charge us for one school?
excuse me?
They're gonna charge us for one school?
Okay, so here's the way it works. If there is a custodian that's scheduled for the time you're there, you do not pay custodial fees. It's a very nominal fee. If the custodian's not there, you have to pay. Now, what happened was Arthur S. May originally was the middle school. It was AMS Middle School. Okay, so when they went to make it back to an elementary school, they kind of grandfathered the rate in. When it's an elementary, you don't have a custodian on Saturday. So we're talking $4 or $5 grand if it's the full amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow, thank you for the, thank you.
So we're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
You and I want to, because we're still dealing with the MOU, and there are some things that are coming up. And Frank, it'd be great if we had you at some point to bring you up to speed with some of the things we've already found out with the several meetings we've had with the school district.
Well, I'll be here tomorrow morning with Bill, so.
Okay, good. Let's take that up tomorrow. I just want to acknowledge Councilman O'Hanlon has arrived.
Yep.
So for the note.
Yeah.
My apologies for my lateness.
I think that's it for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next one is interesting, and I don't, here it is, okay, it is there. So the bus patrol piece. So, in the beginning of January, a company approached all the towns in Dutchess County that they were offering to put in the camera work onto the buses, and the idea is to capture the license plate of people who actually, believe it or not, still pass school buses and go around them, and it's making a very dangerous situation. And when it was first brought to my attention, I actually thought this was a scam. I really did. The way it was presented, it just didn't feel right. And then let it go, and then I'm finding out that other towns are using it, and they are getting people who have been breaking the law and passing school buses. It's crazy. I have one sheet here. If you go 2 pages in, folks, Mary saw this. It's done 2 sheets, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's 1 page for the month of April of this year, and it has approximately 50 people who are all being charged between $250 to $275 for passing a school bus. That's April. Precisely the same amount is in May, and this is just LaGrange. That's the only town that gave me their numbers. So the idea of this company basically puts all the cameras on the bus. They actually go out and they bill these people who have broken the law. They go after them, the people, and they do all the billing and all that stuff, and they distribute the money. They get 90% of the ticket, and the town gets 10%. So just to give you an idea, LaGrange, here's numbers. This company billed $15,450, and the town of LaGrange got $1,500 out of that for the month of April.
Can I just add to that?
Huh?
Can I add?
Sure?
My understanding from my reading about this is that the county actually already, came to this agreement with Bus Patrol.
Right.
And then they're working with the individual school districts. And both Arlington and Hyde Park have already signed on and put this equipment
Right.
on their buses.
Yeah.
So it's happening in Pleasant Valley, whether or not.
So, yes, so.
selecting the-
So after I already thought this, because when they first approach you, it just came off like a scam. So it's kind of like, I'm not too sure. We'll see about it. And more and more it's coming to light, and they're catching more and more people. Then I get a notification stating that they have money for us. They're like, we have some people that we capture on camera. We can't give it to you because you're not on part of the program. Would you like to be part of the program? I think it's a good idea for one reason and one reason only. It has nothing to do with the revenue whatsoever that it generates, because it's really not all that much. My thing is, if this form of catching these people stops them from doing it again and creates a safe environment for the kids on the buses, I think this is a no-brainer.
So I would love to talk about a couple points, but most notably for yours. So, right, the first thought everyone goes to is safety. there's only, I did the research on this today. So out of accidents like this, where people go around a school bus, it happens 0.03% of the time when there's a fatal accident. I'm not saying what happened for your house, I'm not discounting any of that. But then I'm also gonna bring out the point of, at what point are we gonna privatize law enforcement then? Like, that's really what we're doing. We're allowing a private company to come in and charge whatever they want, and we just get 10%. I don't like it at all.
I don't like the numbers.
I don't even think, I have a sneaking suspicion that the state's gonna say it's illegal. The comptroller is in the process of writing an opinion that's not so favorable on this. I don't think it's, I don't.
So here, let me give you the other side of the argument. So just going by the number of the infractions on this page, of the billing that they're going through, these people would never be caught at all. So while the number of accidents that actually happen are probably low, those are the only ones that actually do get caught because they had an accident. It's the people who get away with it, we would never catch them. So if you have that thought process in your mind that you're gonna be able to pass a school bus, that's gotta stop, or else there will be more accidents.
And isn't it true that if the police pull someone over, they're not on here?
Correct. That is not included in the price.
It's not.
But then at this
That's not
point,
included.
so, I mean, at this ratio of giving away 90%, why wouldn't we just employ a cop for Pleasant Valley's purpose? Have him write the tickets and we'd come out $5,000 ahead. I'm just playing the devil's advocate. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I don't love this idea at all, so I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
Yeah, well, if you can, I mean,
Like, you know what I mean?
if you got one police officer to follow all the buses around just for that alone,
No, you understand what I'm saying is.
yeah, it's not
if-
feasible.
I don't know, I mean, like, we get 10% out of this. I don't think it's.
What do the police?
Well, just to clarify, I'm not sure there's a whole lot of decision for the town to make on it.
I know.
According to what I saw on the county website, one of the school districts, not in Pleasant Valley, did opt out of it. But the school districts that cover Pleasant Valley opted in, so it's happening
We
either
don't
way.
have a choice. Right, it's happening to us whether we want it or not.
Right,
I'm
they're-
just not sure there's a lot of choice of.
No, I know, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I'm voicing
no,
my opinion. I don't like it at all.
Certainly hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, 223 buses were installed. This was
Rhinebeck
installed on.
opted out of it.
Yeah, but none of that, we get no charge for any of that. We are not charged for any of the install. They take care of the cameras. It costs the town absolutely nothing to do.
So I'm gonna just ask the proverbial question then. At what point in the future, let's think this through. At what point in the future do we not then allow some company to do this with traffic cameras on traffic lights in this town? And then our court system is not bringing in the revenue that this town survives on, and then we're up the creek without a paddle. Like, at what point are we're taking the onus of really trying to, like, we're skirting the whole judicial system with this. Like, really, I don't like it at all. It's just, that's my.
Okay, I don't see us skirting something that was never going to be caught anyway. My point is, they found a niche that there was no way of attaining it to begin with. Again, you're not going to have a police officer stand behind a bus all the whole trip and make sure that they get from point A to point B safely. It's not going to happen. You may catch one rarely, but so they found a niche that has not done anything, is not taking anything away from any law enforcement, and they've decided, we put in the cameras, we put in the materials, we should get 90%, which I think is a little high, but okay. And they create a situation where people are safer. Because I got to tell you, at $250, and if you're late, they charge $25 for every week that you're late. And they do all the go-getting. My first initial problem with this whole thing was, I thought they were going to start this process and leave it to our court system to go after them and prosecute. And that was going to cost us a fortune. It's not. So they're finding that 95% of the people that they catch, they go after, they pay, and that's the end of it. And the other people, they still have to take to court.
Well,
The numbers are in their favor.
my take on all this is, well, gee, it took a private company to do something that maybe New York State should have done a long doggone time ago. And I'm not really crazy about the numbers either, but on the other hand, I am very happy that somebody wants to catch these people and make them pay. And no, we're not going to come out financially super high on the end of it, but I kind of figure if we accept this and say, okay, we're going to make this work for now. We're making a good start. And just maybe this is going to push New York State to do something. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, if New York State turns around and looks at this and says, hey, this is illegal, we don't want to do it, we're going to pick it up, then we can always change our mind, I guess.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is, whether I disagree with it or not, this whole program is solving a problem that we really don't have yet, is all it is doing. I mean, look at the stats. 127 kids died last year alone from an accident like this. 127 out of how many millions died in auto accidents? I'm not discounting that.
One's too many.
No, I knew somebody was gonna say that.
I don't mean it to
But
be
right, but
cliche, but one's too
what I'm
many.
saying is, I agree, but at the same time, at what point do we, I don't know, we're giving too much away in this instance. And if you look at this, 90% goes to the county, not 90% doesn't go to this company. We get only 10%, 90% goes to the county.
I'll get you more information if you need more facts. I will certainly do that, but
No, I mean, like, if it's happening to us, there's nothing for.
It's happening.
There's nothing, we're just gonna get it. But,
This goes to the county? I
yeah,
thought
well,
it went to the
the
company.
look at this diagram. Look at the diagram on page 5 or whatever it is. It shows it right here. It says the flow of funds overview. 100% processed daily goes to the alert bus collection account. 10% comes to the municipality, which we are assuming us. 90% goes to Dutchess County.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I feel a little better in that instance because this company's not making 90%.
I have no problem with
It's
any
on
of
this
that.
page. I mean, that's how.
Yeah,
they're laying
I
it
have
out.
no problem with any of it.
I don't know.
And bottom line is, you're creating a situation that children will be safer because these people will be charged and they'll never do that again.
Yes, and people will know that, guess what? The school buses are now equipped with cameras.
Right.
And we are going to get you for passing a stop school bus, and isn't that what's really important here?
So here's what I propose. I will bring this company in to
Let's see if they want
show
to-
you,
Maybe they'll answer some questions.
sure. Okay, anything on further on it?
No?
All right. Town committees and subcommittees. Anyone want to take up on that? Was put on there?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I asked for that to be on there. And so I just wanted clarification as to what you and I are working on, what we're all working on together, in terms of like, that way we know where the next step is.
All right. So I believe we have it on our website of our subcommittees, but just off the top of my head, I can pretty much remember most of them. You and I are on rec.
Okay.
Keith and I are on building and highway. Mary and I were working on water, but now we had to move Mary off, and you're working with that, with me. Mary and Michael are on finance.
I mean, more selfishly, I was really looking for what.
We
I'm
also
doing.
have highway.
With me.
Yeah. Just-
I said
just
you
so
and I are on highway
Oh,
and the building.
Technology.
Oh, yeah.
Mike and I.
Tech is you and Michael.
Thank you.
And I think that's it for now, right? Mary, weren't you on another one? Finance, I got it. On the website. Oh, she printed it? All right. There it is.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Okay. That it? We good?
Yeah, no, yeah, sorry.
Okay. New business budget modification to 2022 general fund. We're resolution 7 7001, 2022, budget modification to 2022 general fund. Whereas the Town Board of Pleasant Valley has an expenditure for the 2022 adopted budget line items that will adjust the amounts in such budget lines. And whereas the Town Supervisor finds it necessary to amend the 2022 adopted budget to meet these adjustments. And resolve, the Town Board and the Town of Pleasant Valley hereby authorizes and empowers the Director Bookkeeper and the Town Supervisor to modify the 2022 adopted budgets as follows. Appropriation account A 8666.400, Department Environmental Repair and Maintenance, Optima Soil Testing and remediation, thank you. Increase 11,100, account A 1990.400, Department Contingency decrease 11,100. For those of you who don't know what that is, up at the Highway Department, when we took out the tanks, the soil underneath it had to be checked for any kind of leakage, and that's a minor number that is so small, thank God.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, that was, very happy with that. Town of Pleasant Valley Town Board, Resolution Number 7002, 2022, appointment of 2022 Town of Pleasant Valley Summer Camp staff, whereas the Town of Pleasant Valley intends to operate various summer camp programs open to its residents and members of the public, and whereas there are vacancies in the Town of Pleasant Valley 2020 Summer Camp staff, and now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Pleasant Valley hereby appoints the following 2022 summer camp staff: new counselors Kyle Price and Christopher Colton at the price of $13.20 per hour. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Pleasant Valley does hereby designate and appoint the above staff for the 2022 Town of Pleasant Valley summer camp. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, old items that are still waiting. We have people on vacations, we have people sick, we've had people, all kinds of different things, so a lot of these things have been held up. Do you have anything on the Kirchhoff rezoning application?
Not at the moment.
Nothing at the moment. Changing of the field from Howe Field to Howe Park, that's also in holding until Mary Beth gets back. Bathrooms in Helen Aldrich Park, we should be hearing any day. Should be any day. They said July, isn't this July? So this is it, right? Okay, waiting on that. Property maintenance code in holding. This is pretty much, I asked you guys all to read those as is. This one we could pretty much pass as is. No one has said anything. This is so that our zoning department can go and mow lawns and charge the bank who has not been mowing the lawns, basically. So that one, we're gonna tell her to go right ahead with a resolution on. Veteran parking signs, still waiting. Property changes,
Yeah.
right, you got a little,
Nothing new on
anything,
that.
huh?
Nothing new yet on
I did have something on it. I'll think of what it was, I'll get back to it.
Why is that taking so long?
Huh? Oh, I know what it is. I have to now, well, I'm meeting with the fire department very shortly to see if they even want to do that with the pump house. They initially said yes, but I want to make sure with the commissioners.
I gotcha.
So I just want to make sure before we go and
Yeah.
do all this.
Well, it's gonna be a big process. In
Right.
order to alienate the parkland, you're gonna have to get the state legislature to pass a law specifically for that. So it's gonna take many months, to get that done.
All right.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It is, but yeah,
it's like a-
I think this is important, and I'll tell you why. Because we may need to do this for the water situation.
Yep, I agree with you.
So it's a good practice. Let's do it small, we'll do big.
Okay.
So that's coming up, that's after the meeting with the fire department. Picnic tables, still deciding which ones to go with. Ah,
No, Baxter gave me the government website, and he gave me two other sites that are definitely one other site that he's involved in. He said there might be a third site that you don't have to do bidding for.
OGS or Keystone?
Well, OGS is one of them. He
Right.
gave me another one, and then the third one was iffy, it's in the process, but we have those
it's with the Keystone Purchasing Group, I think they're
Oh,
called.
yeah,
Right.
no, that name sounds familiar, it might be, so we move forward.
Okay. The credit card processing, we pretty much got the resolution written up by,
Warren,
we'll
yeah.
do that for
so
next week, so that'll be
Warren
done.
had the background on that. It's actually a two-step process, so we have to first do a resolution authorizing the town to use credit card processing, and
And
then,
then-
we'll have to,
okay.
but I spoke with Warren about the process. He said that we have to follow the procurement process, and even though it's no cost to the town, we should still seek out alternate vendors to choose the best one, whether it's an RFP or calling some other vendors.
Okay.
You mean to accept the credit cards?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, so we,
Just to
we
affirm that
actually
we're getting the
have,
best deal.
we're gonna have to.
so, for the next meeting, we have a resolution that says the town can accept credit cards.
Right.
And then in order to actually contract with a company, we had the, it started with an H, I forget, the company that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Hamer?
Yeah.
Which looked
Yeah,
fine.
Hamer.
Right.
The right thing to do for procurement is to get a couple of other
We haven't,
proposals. Okay.
and by the way, that's the only, if we have to go through a bank, we only have two to choose from right
Yeah,
here. So,
so you have done that research, so we need
Yes.
to maybe document that.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Thanks, Elaine. Thanks, Matt.
RFP for sealing, coating, and painting the town hall parking lot. Believe it or not, we've had nobody. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not so much of a wow if when you realize two things. One, these guys are hugely busy right now with what they had on their schedule already. So it's very difficult for them to get away from that to even want another job like this. Two, a lot of these companies are struggling because of the price of oil and gas makes that price go up. So they're constantly getting their product from any place they possibly can at the lowest price they possibly can, which is not too many. And it really depends. So they're very busy.
There is a guy that called me that knew me, so he might be putting one in.
Yeah.
What, I told him that it was due the 15th, is that true?
We don't have to do it by any particular time. It would be great before the winter. I mean, it
No,
would be
no, no,
nice.
the
to-
RFP, I mean.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, it was due by the 15th.
That's what I
so
told
If
him.
you can get it in, it'd be great. I was actually going to do my driveway this year until everything went through the roof, and I'm gonna ask the guy who I actually thought about doing, I'm gonna ask him, do something, come on, come take a look at it. Because we should really, it needs it, it's in bad shape, no one knows where the lines are anymore, and, it just needs to be done.
The other thing is we did combine the striping with the coating, so I
Maybe we
wonder if
separate
we
them?
separated them, if we might get,
Yeah, because I don't know many seal coating places that'll actually stripe too.
Right.
yeah. They'd have to get someone,
Yeah,
subcontractor
Dutch
to
striping is
do
the
it.
one that I know of, I think, but, yeah.
All right, that's that. RFP for the tent rentals for Pleasant Valley Weekend. So basically, the two front runners of the tent companies are the only two that put actually in there the same numbers that they did before, so nothing really has changed, but we just did our due diligence. So, next meeting,
Oh,
we'll,
okay. We hope those, that's closed, yes?
huh?
The RFP period for those are closed.
Those are all closed, that's all done. And then the other code change, which is the junk motor vehicles code change, is also another one we should pass for next week. There was one caveat that was brought up by several people, Mr. Veeder, Mr. O'Hanlon. Cars on a property that are not, don't have plates, not registered, are considered junk. Well, someone brought up a very good point. Well, what about an antique car that you don't really register? And there is a provision in there being written right now as the caveat to let that be. So if you're a collector of cars where the cars are worth something, and like an antique thing, or if you're a racer car, you don't put them on the road, that's one thing. But if you're taking parts out of one and leaving the one that's dead in the yard for trees to grow through, that's a whole nother ballgame. So that's gonna be a little clearer, and I think we should pass that the next time around.
So for both the property maintenance and that one, I'll need to make sure it's in the form for a local law, and then we'll introduce it and set a public hearing, and so it'll be a whole, process.
You got it. Okay, old business. None. So at this time, we're going to open the meeting up to the public for new business only.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. New business.
I forgot to mention two things. The mural behind the town board.
We already did that.
Oh, you did that, okay. And then the other thing is we have our concert series tomorrow night, and it's Cherished Memories. They do doo-wop.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's 6 o'clock in Katie Field. If, God forbid, the weather's bad, I try to have it on the website by 3 o'clock so people know.
I think you'll
but-
be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
So,
Excellent. Cherished memories. If you like the oldie doo-wops, they're great. You'll love them. I want to go outside the box a little bit here. Mary, you had a question before, and seeing that it's so light tonight, you're more than welcome to ask that question. Can you do me one favor, though? Because we have nobody here from the clerk's office, and they need to listen to this so they can write out the minutes.
Mary Meyer, Clerk just like the new judge. Now, do you guys appoint one and then they have to run?
Yes.
All right, I just want to make sure.
Yes,
So
on both.
according to, if I'm not mistaken, according to state law, because it's
Yeah,
passed a
you have
certain.
you have to go and get somebody and then make sure they want to run.
Well, not necessarily. So we would appoint whomever we feel is the best qualified candidate, and then it's up to that person if they want to run again for that position or not.
Oh.
It's the easiest way.
So what they would do is we'd appoint someone, whoever it is. They would finish the Honorable Judge Sears. They'd finish his term, and they'd have to run next year.
No.
Have to run the next general election.
It runs up there, so it's pretty
His
much,
term is up next year, so it's so close to this election.
Yeah.
So there'd be no special election for it, so it is till the end of his term, which is an odd one. You'd have to run November
Gotcha.
technically, but.
So somebody would have to let the elections know by March of next year,
Well, it's a whole
right?
process, but yes.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't got any new updates on our new town hall lately. Are we still in holding?
right, we're planning on having one for next week. Our CPL is presenting what it costs to actually do it, itemized list, so he's getting ready for that.
All right. And I don't know how to put this. I spent an enormous amount of time, my personal time, on being on official town committees, be months in advance to, I don't know how to say this. I was on a committee for the Bicentennial Committee, and we worked months before we became an official town committee. I have been working on this year's town Pleasant Valley Weekend, months and months, probably back in April, before we became an official town committee. And now I'm investing some more time on other committees, and we're gathering, unofficially or not, and I don't know, I just want to make that statement, that even long before people put in, and we come and provide service to this town, to be a part of, not necessarily a committee, we're a group of people getting together, long before we become an official town committee. So I just want to say that I, as a dedicated person of this town, spend an enormous amount of time doing things long before we become an official town committee. And I just want to say that.
So can I ask a question about that? Can I, well, wait, do you gotta go back to the mic?
Okay.
So are you saying that you're actually working unofficially for the town? Shouldn't you let the town board know that?
Well, we work on things like for the Bicentennial. We worked on it for nearly a year before, months and months and months before we became an official town committee. A group of us came together and volunteered our time and worked months and months and
And
months.
I argued that when you guys first formed, that we should have made you a committee then,
Right.
just for the record.
Well, here's the
It should
thing.
always be
No, no,
made into a
I
committee.
know
or
what she's
meeting.
getting at, and so.
Well,
But what I'm saying is,
hold on,
if
Frank.
you're working unofficially for the town, you come and tell the board that. You should tell us officially what you're working on.
Well, we're just gathering information. We're not
I
doing
would-
it like we worked for months on the Bicentennial, long before we even picked a date. We
understand that.
came together and threw around ideas and had.
You're not really a committee then.
Well, no, we're not. So what's the definition of a committee? If we're a group of,
committee is
if we're a
someone
group
that's-
of people coming together for the
All right,
greater good.
let me stop you. Let me stop you. Hold on, folks. Let me stop you. So, in a lot of these situations, especially the Bicentennial and Pleasant Valley Weekend, it's a matter of getting people wanting to be on the committee.
To show up.
to show up, right.
place.
And so a lot of times what happens is you have these sort of information gathering meetings to see who's actually interested. And once that's established, then you could turn around and say, okay, we pretty much have people that are really willing to take this all the way. And at that point in time, you basically turn to the board and you say, we're officially, we're ready to go.
We've actually found.
We're ready to
we
go.
have a group of people that want to come together.
Right.
And so I just want to make that clear, that a lot of things go on, and we spend a lot of our own personal time getting ready to make it. I
Right.
don't know how, before you're a committee, you're a group of people. But in order to get a committee, you have to have a group of people to make a committee. So anyway, so for
So
that-
let me fill you in a little history. First off, prior to myself being, when I first took over Pleasant Valley Weekend, way before, there were no committees on it. It was one person, okay? And then prior to that, there was 3 people that worked together. It wasn't even an official committee. There was no official committee making, okay? Never happened. I said back then, this should be made official, all right? So the first year, it didn't even happen when I was there, but I kept saying we should do it. And then finally, we finally got the actual official okay. So it's still something,
I just think the word committee is pretty broad, and whether it be a true committee or people that are coming together, I think being appointed by you guys, or just a group of people coming together to figure out if we want to be a committee. I mean, we have to come together to see who's going to be on the committee in order to submit to you guys to be a committee in the first place. So the word committee, I think, I don't know what other word to use. You're not going to use a group of people coming together. We're a committee because we've all decided to come together. Whether you guys have made us an official committee or not, we're still working together for this town to do a project or do this or do that. So I just want to make that clear that a lot of people come together for this town, be it an official committee or not, and spend an enormous amount of time. So the word committee is pretty loosely used, I think, amongst many of us
That's a
that
pretty
do
finite
come together.
definition, though.
Yeah, it
I mean,
does.
a committee is a group of people that's appointed by us.
Well, no,
No?
where do we call it committee have nothing to do with you guys? We're
Well,
working
can-
on something else in this town.
all right,
Can I
so,
clarify, please?
please
Yeah.
do.
I mean, there are lots of different committees or groups or organizations that work on all kinds of things. There's Boy Scouts, there's, all sorts of things in the community. But I think what the point that Councilman Mazzella is making is that if the town is going to authorize a committee to work on something, that needs to arise from the town board.
Correct.
So I think that's really the distinction.
Right.
And whether that is a suggestion that comes from the community or comes from the town board,
Right.
it should originate with the town board before a project that is for the town, the town government, town facilities, town government. Before that begins, it should be authorized by the town board.
Right, like the Reddle Renovation Corps Construction Committee. Should originate here, not in some email.
Right, okay. Are we done with committees?
Yep.
Okay, so I move,
Okay.
if anyone else, any new business?
Yeah, actually.
Hold on.
I found, oh, sorry.
I believe Mr. Vito was gonna get it. We're not doing that, hold on, relax, we're not done.
Sorry, okay. 'Cause I-
Yeah, that's what, yeah. I meant before you speak, you'd have to.
No, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Gary Veter, South Point Turnpike. My wife's going to be very happy because I don't have to be on the committee anymore. Because I will not be on the committee anymore. I think you're demeaning the people that volunteer to get things done at no charge, considerable amount of time. It's very demeaning to hear this discussion. We weren't spending money. The things that the town pays for, that was taken care of officially. I'm sorry, but I don't think I see committees in my future any longer. Because I just feel maybe the majority of the board would be happy if I wasn't on anything. And I guess that's it.
Anyone else? Go ahead. Sandra, please. Then take your time, come back to us in a week and think about it.
No, this is old business, what are we doing?
New business.
New
Okay,
business.
so this is old business, can I say something?
Go ahead.
What the status is of the gully by my office, if we,
So do you have has the engineer gone up to it yet, or no?
not after he gave the water report that we got.
So that was it. He gave the water report, we can go forward.
Okay, but that means what? How are we,
Well, now we gotta discuss it, how we actually pull that off.
well, that's, yeah. Do we have any,
Well,
have any idea?
I have several ideas, but
Well, John's away this week, so we'd have to wait until he gets back next week.
Baxter, yeah.
that's one piece we gotta
Like
wait.
not next
Okay.
Monday.
And do we have
And
to
I
have,
think we should do that first,
Baxter?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because I can contact him on Monday. And I'm not sure he got the report also.
He did not,
Okay,
Okay,
so I could forward that to him.
correct.
yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Okay. Anyone else? Not hearing anything, I move that we close the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make the motion
Go ahead.
that we go into executive session.
Can I do one thing? I forgot something. The IRS, for the rest of this year, is putting travel per mile as 62 cents, 62.5 cents.
Well, because I found out we couldn't do it, so the IRS is gonna, we have to wait for that number, that's all, I didn't wanna.
It was 62 cents.
62.5.
It went from 55 to 62.
58.5 to, yeah,
That's fine.
okay. I just
It
wanted,
is nothing, my point, I was bringing it up because we had a request from some of the people in our employ that are using their own vehicles, and it's getting very expensive and the wear and tear and whatnot. So they had asked, and I said, well, let me find out how this goes on, and there's no one else but the IRS who sets that number. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't think it was a point to bring up.
I had this discussion with Melanie. I thought I had read this, but I'll forward it to her.
Yeah, no, we all, whatever it is, it is. There's nothing we can
Right.
do about it, my point.
Well, I thought
Okay.
we set a resolution with the price, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, we did.
We might just have to change that resolution. Like,
Do we have to change that,
Price of the
Emily?
resolution.
Yeah, but we can't change the mileage
No,
whatsoever.
no, we set it at the IRS minimum, but we passed a resolution stating it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is if we pay out a higher number, it just kind of goes against how this works.
Right,
So we would have to pass another resolution at the IRS.
right.
Right, so should we just make a motion from the floor since it's.
We might as well, I mean, it's a moot point, because
Right, yeah, all right.
Right.
I'll make a motion that we change the mileage reimbursement rate to 0.625 cents per mile.
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Now I make a motion that we go into executive session for 105.1F personnel.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. Move to come out? I make a motion to come out of executive session?
Let the time, yeah, 8:47 PM, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
For the record, though, there was action taken by the board in respect to a complaint from an employee to a board member. The board did decide that there was no action needed at the time, so everything is resolved.
Resolved.
That being said, though, I will make a motion that we extend the Gordon and Svensson and Warren Raplansky contract as our legal attorneys, and the CPL contract both till December 31st of 2022.
Second.
Second.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you take it second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion.
Keith did that? I'm
Keith
sorry.
second. Keith
Thank you.
second.
Officially, I seconded it.
And then
I guess,
that-
yes.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.